Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is Sunday. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. You're here for Romance of the Blue Rose. You will notice that we are short, both of a Shard and a Cecilia. We hope that both Simon and Alyssa can join us again soon. They're feeling a little under the weather today, so we'll see them when they're a bit better. But we're gonna start with let everybody introduce themselves, and then we have interesting. There's so much drama going on. I just can't wait to see what happens. Hey Pooja, how you doing? How things going?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Hey, everybody. I'm Pooja, and I'm back tonight playing Delmay Ferox, our young, reckless adept. Yeah, let's go with that. That works. The shoe fits.
I'm sure that the shoe, will perhaps fit. It might also perhaps be, is it boots or is it dancing slippers? We don't know. We'll find
That's
out.
true. That's true. I don't know. Last we left her, it was boots. So we'll see how it goes. As things progress. Oh, and both of our pronouns are she, her.
Were those boots made for walking?
If they weren't, they certainly have been turned into boots made for walking because they've been doing a lot of walking.
And they've been walking over.
I have that record. It's a good one.
It is a good one.
It is indeed. Uh, for those of you who don't know, look up Nancy Sinatra. Hey Trooper, how you doing? How's life
Oh.
going for you?
Prax, I gotta tell you, I told Pooja this before we went live that like my brain is a free association brain. Somebody says a thing and then my brain just goes places and I have sounds and images in my head happening, and then you just said Nancy Sinatra. And then in my head, I just heard bang, bang, he shoots me. And I was like, oh yeah, Nancy Sinatra's so great in that song. So I'm just hearing Nancy Sinatra singing Bang Bang, and that is a great song. So also look up that one as well. And so now I'm really happy because that is such a good song. Such a good song. And so I'm doing well. And I am playing Russ the Rhyhawk, a psychic red-shouldered hawk. And if you do not know, in the world of Blue Rose, there are animals, there are beings that have like animal souls, and there are beings that have people souls, and Raiden have people souls rather than animal souls. And so Russ is technically a person, and he does not wear boots because he doesn't go walking.
Nope, no, he do not. He fly though.
Yes, he does.
Someone else who flies on occasion. Hey Lindy,
Yeah.
how are you? How things going?
That's me. Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Really hoping that the internet and power hold. Although the storm seems to be, at least this band of the storm seems to be passing. Because I live close to hurricanes. I'm in Hurricane Alley. Thankfully, not on top of me. I'm sorry to those who it is. But I will be playing Ritka Sokolov. She is a Carnish refugee. It's complicated. She has a wyvern. His name is Carnage. He is the best boy ever, and she's got some problems, but it's fine. Everything's going to be fine. We're not concerned.
You're not concerned.
Okay, she's concerned. I'm not as worried about it.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. A lot of things did happen last week. You managed to make your way back to the time that you had begun. There was another conversation with Delmay's mom. By the way, if you saw the original tweet from this morning, I couldn't fit it into the go live tweet, but hashtag Delmay's mom knows what's going on. Look, it fit the syllable and the rhyme.
It also accurate.
Also accurate.
Yeah.
And then you also had you met Devram, a very nice night person farmer who used to be a retired member of the Order of the Blue Rose, the big old knights. He gave you a bunch of stuff in exchange for, being paid in the future because you needed supplies. And then there was the decision to what was the word? You broke up the shifts for the night watches, so that, nobody was taking joyrides on Carnage at dawn. And then we had, Dimitri supposedly on watch with Ritka, and Fedor going to be on watch later with, Russ, because,
No one told Russ that, by the way.
No, they did!
No, because I think he was not there at the time. He was eating. And so he does not know that Fyodor is supposed to be in watch, and, that'll
No,
be
they did.
interesting.
You did, because that was the discussion about who was going to have watches, and it was going to be...
Yeah, you were there.
You were there.
Yeah, because Russ does not know, otherwise he would have protested. He would have said absolutely not. He does not know that Fyodor is going to be on watch with him.
You may not have realized it, but you were there for it was one of those, the discussion was had.
Because
You
he
may
would
not
have
have
said no.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, as
yeah.
a player, I knew, but Russ didn't
Yeah.
know because he would have protested that heavily, and he will, I suppose, when watch happens, and he'll just have to
Deal with it.
Yeah, he'll have to now do 2 watches. He'll have to watch outside and then also the guest.
Yeah, well, Russ has a lot of paranoia issues. I'm gonna just come out and say it. Russ is having paranoia issues.
I think it was that there was a call and he wasn't in that call. That's why he didn't know
it was
about
it was out loud, and it was because you decided. Vishard specifically asked not to be alone on watch, and then Delmay volunteered, and then then you said you would take last watch, and then Dimitri and Fedor said, okay, fine. We'll split up and go with whoever has first watch and last watch. And Ritka purposefully said, because Dimitri was the person who volunteered to stay with Russ, and Ritka was like,
Russ did not hear that conversation. I remember that because as a player, I was like, oh, this would be really funny. But because Russ doesn't know that this is what's happening.
Well, we're going
that
to
this
find
is
out.
coming.
Russ has paranoia
Russ
issues.
is really focused on food.
Russ is going to have
Russ is
paranoia
not
issues.
paranoid. Russ is not paranoid. They are not a member of the Sovereign's Finest. So they don't get to be part of this team. They're guests. They're not working. It's not paranoia. It is protocol.
I would like to point out there was a conversation had just after Vishard went back to sleep, after he was pulled into Ritka's dreamscape.
Technically, Ritka wouldn't be on any watches then if that's the case too.
This is she's working with us. But he watches her though. But yeah, he noted that they did not get pulled in to the dream. He just noted it. He was like,
Yeah,
"Let's
but he
note
was
that
really
one."
he was really kind of snarky about it. I mean, I think Russ is almost at the level where he's quasi-developing a sarcastic personality.
I don't know about that. I don't think he was sarcastic. I think he was actually grumpy. But I feel like
Well,
that's
I think
different.
Russ did point it out, and then I remember Ritka and Vishard were like, "Oh, they were in the dream just as much as Dalme and Cecilia were."
Yeah. But the only people who could interact and got pulled into the dream
Were the 3 of y'all?
were the 3 of you. Delme and Cecilia didn't.
Dalme didn't enter the dream either.
And so
They
he
were
was
just
just noting
seen.
who was in and who was out. And he was like, let's note that.
But there was a beautiful ball,
There was.
I know, Dalme's kind of sad she missed it.
and now we're all kind of, missing out on the Russ as sea person.
I know
Dream.
Dalme is very not happy about missing that too.
I'm sorry, what?
I said Dalme is not happy about missing that either.
About missing Russ as a sea person, or missing
Yeah.
the dress that Ritka was wearing in this dream?
Both, all of it. It seems like there was a party in Ritka's brain, and Dalme didn't get to go, and that sucks.
It wasn't a good party. It was a real bad party.
The party itself was perfectly fine. brilliant. There was waltzing and minuets and you know,
A Lich King?
yeah, and Lady Talus. They were the guests of
Yeah.
honor.
I just don't feel like that's a good party. I think it's a bad party.
They're bad guests, not a bad party. Those are two different things,
Fair enough. Yeah.
you know? And you didn't even see if they ended up being bad guests or rude guests. Actually, the person who was rude was Vashard, because, you know, somebody asked him to come over from a position of authority, and he's like, no, I don't wanna.
I don't wanna.
Eat. But, Russ has gone back to sleep. Delmay's gone back to sleep. Vashard is back to sleep. Right now, the only people who are awake are Ritka and Dimitri quasi-Fedor. But Fedor and Dimitri have traded off shifts of watches for almost 100 years now as partners. They're used to resting as they can. Ritka,
Yeah.
would you like to roll a perception seeing?
Sure. I'd love to
Or
use my
hearing.
eyeballs.
You could use.
No, it's gonna be eyeballs.
It's eyeballs. All right.
It's eyeballs. 16.
Just as your watch is ending, it's quiet. There's a slow rise of the, you know, the clouds have broken. The moon cover is, well, the moon is more apparent. The cloud cover is drifted off. There's a slight reflection on the long, wavy grass of these open plains of the, you know, half full moon reflecting. It's quiet. And the only thing you see is a couple deer making their way in front of you. A little off in the distance, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You do smell like 2 wolves, a bear, and a wyvern.
Yeah, I imagine there's a lot of things keeping their distance. I mean, the wyvern looks like a small hill. That's just, yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
And Dimitri has been keeping up his running commentary as just kind of a way to keep you focused on the here and now.
Mm-hmm. She appreciates it.
But
Chat with him back. Probably the chattiest Ritka's been in, like, years. If not ever. Like, let's just talk. That sounds great. I usually hate talking. Let's talk, yeah.
he is sharing as much gossip as he thinks you will enjoy. Like, full-on General Hospital Luke and Laura wedding level of gossip.
Yeah, that sounds like him. Here for it tonight.
It's like, you would not believe, oh my god. And they had chartreuse as a wedding color. Like, whoever has
No.
chartreuse, like,
There's a lot of tastelessness in, like, color palettes in Kern, but no! Chartreuse? Who hates them?
and we're not talking about, like, that nice, like, light green that you get, like, light yellow green that you get in some South Indian weddings. We're talking, like, straight-on chartreuse that's, like, that shade of... you don't want. It looks like somebody
Yeah,
got...
no. Well, at least I didn't have to see that.
And,
Eyeballs have been spared.
I mean, I'm sure I could find somebody that could recreate the image.
Mm. I'd rather not.
Look, if I had to suffer through it, you should have to.
And then it's like, oh dear. Okay.
But that is the end of your watch, and the night passes for you.
I'll wake up the second watch. And then
Delmay,
pretend to sleep.
Delme and Vishard. For the
Mhm.
purposes of this, we're going. Both. Vishard will be a follow NPC.
Mm-hmm.
So I have access to his sheet. If you need to do anything for Vishard, if you need or want Vishard to do anything, he can, but he's not talking.
That's fair.
He has laryngitis.
Okay.
Fang sickness.
Is Delme awake yet, or is she still sleeping? I guess.
Dimitri and would have woken up Vishard.
Delme.
I think Delme wakes up and she doesn't look incredibly rested. She looked a little disturbed by everything going on when she went to sleep, and I think it's still lingering. But she gets up and kind of gets.
Do you need more sleep?
No. I don't think sleep was the problem.
Are you sure? Because you could get more. I could stay awake.
No. I'm okay. I get yeah, things are, I don't know what's going on. It's weird. Just want to get to the house.
Well, I will leave you to your watch then.
Delme did her watch already, right? Oh no. Okay, so
Rika was
this is
first
the beginning
watch.
of the night?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
I was like,
Rika
oh, that happened
"I'm
during
on watch.
first watch.
Dimitri, something's happening.
Yeah, because Delme's been up and now she's went back to sleep. Probably like napped for 30 minutes and she's like, okay, I'm up again.
It's sorry.
I mean, we
All
got
right.
a couple hours. You got a couple hours.
Yeah.
Rika's gonna try to sleep and pretend to sleep. She's gonna snuggle with Carnage. She's gonna go like snuggle just right up in him.
Well, so I think as they set up for watch, I'm assuming Delme, Vishard, and the puppers set up for watch. And they keep warm. Because I believe we were unsuccessful in getting coffee from our farmer friend, I think Delme is going to mess around and try to see if she can make like a chicory tea, because Vishar needs to be drinking it anyway, and it has caffeine in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Sounds like it's probably what you want for a middle of the night watch.
Possibly. Please let me pull up the other thing. Switching. Okay. I believe technically I'm pretty sure you don't actually have this skill or this focus, but there is a focus for intelligence cooking.
Yeah, that's not a thing. Nope. She's just gonna roll her brain.
A brains? Alright. Ooh, with an 18.
She brainy.
Very. Vishard is focused. He's, that scene in the extended edition of Fellowship of the Ring, full on Aragorn using that whetstone on the blade of his sword in the Barrow Downs, and whistle, even like slightly humming to himself. One of those like old folk lullaby kind of things. But yes, it will take you a little while, but you will be able to make some chicory
concoction.
sane, I guess, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
it's tea, kind of, probably.
Yeah.
based on the way it's used. You're steeping it. Yeah, it'd be a tea.
Chicory beverage.
Chicory. Making chicory is fine.
Yeah. And while she's busy doing this, and I guess Vashard's busy doing Vashard things, the puppers are definitely on alert. It's nighttime. They're more skilled at this.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll perception, either seeing or hearing, your choice.
All right, I'll do seeing for Whisper Girl. Also 18.
Very nice. And you can also roll for yourself and for Whisper, if you want.
Okay, I can roll for myself too. Okay, I can do that. I don't have seeing though.
I'm going to have...
I'm very distracted, but I'm very focused on this chicory.
You're very focused on this chicory. You've never really... I mean, have you made chicory before?
No. But, given what... Based on the conversation with her... The original conversation with her mom, and then the conversation they had when they were looking for the chicory, Cecilia kind of indicated that it should be easy enough, and well, Cecilia's still napping, so and also she has 4 hours to kill.
Yep. I'm just gonna use hearing for Jason, who also rolls an 18. 18 is the number for this evening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if what Vashard gets. Well, he gets a 14. Not bad. Not bad.
Still better than Delme.
The wolves will get up unoccasionally, make their way around, the campfire and the camp, kind of as a pair. They pause momentarily, but it's that, it's that momentary pause of like, ooh, there's, oh no, we can't go run chasing after that rabbit. That rabbit would be nice, but not right now. Vashard is contemplative, quiet. He has a lot on his mind. Aeson will come up to you at one point and just kind of like nudge you, his shoulder into your hip.
Mm-hmm.
Like more along the lines of trying to draw your attention.
Okay. What's up, boy?
And it's that, and then you realize, no, he doesn't actually want attention. Well, he does want attention, but it's the, no, you're supposed to like, and then he'll like put his head under your hand, and it's like, no, my ears, you're not scratching my ears. You're supposed to be doing this by now.
Oh, okay.
It's like I had to actually hip check you because you were not paying attention to me.
Yeah, that sounds very right. Yeah, so she'll give Aeson the head scratch. Of course she will.
But
all puppers get head scratches.
All puppers get head scratches. They will always get head scratches, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And you make your way through the night. It's quiet. Wind on the plains, the moon passing over, the occasional sound of an owl somewhere distant. Very distant.
Yeah. I do, for description purposes, Dalme puts chicory for Vashard in like a water skin or something for if he decides to risk it.
He will start drinking from it. but it's that kind of negligent drinking. Also, now
Yeah.
I'm contemplating like lukewarm chicory.
Yeah, that's not the best. But you can always reheat it, I guess. But I guess you have to drink chicory in pretty large doses to worry about addiction, right?
Yeah, it has a lower caffeine threshold than coffee, but it still has a caffeine threshold.
Oh yeah. So is the addiction they're talking about just
Yeah.
caffeine addiction?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What? All right.
Something several characters have already professed to having. It's fine.
Also, I'm just like, I don't know. My lawyer insides just cackled at the idea. Hey, I'm down to like maybe a cup a day, so I'm pretty proud of myself.
I am very proud of you. Says someone who's never developed a taste for coffee at all in her entire life.
I didn't do it until I was a summer associate. That's when I started. Just because my ADHD brain needed the stimulant. Let's be real. That's what happened.
Well, your watch will pass uneventfully as it really is just you, Vishard, quiet, contemplative, you brewing chicory, and the puppers who have decided that, I guess, Vishard is upset, but he's in an upset kind of way that, you know, he's in the hyper-focused on what he's thinking about. So Asen has decided he is not getting enough love, but then Asen is getting, you know, head scritches and whispers like, why am I not getting head scritches? So now you have two wolves in your lap at the same time.
Yeah. Cuties.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time. Oh, I could just picture their little like eyes closing faces when they get the scritches. It's like, no. Okay, fine. If you're keeping your eyes closed, it's fine, but your noses better be open. You're on watch.
Yeah, but it's also, these are, speaking as someone who has two large dogs, these are two large wolves. They're not really, they want more of your attention, so they're kind of, you may or may not, can you roll me strength athletics?
Yeah. That's fair. I have a strength of 0. Let's see how this goes.
12. You manage not to entirely be overwhelmed by the weight of 200
Yeah, that's fair.
plus pound canines.
Maybe it helped. Maybe they're like kind of holding each other's weight up a little bit to kind of like let Tommy sidle out from under there.
Yep. But it's
Oh man,
the cuteness of the puppers.
I know. I think in her head she's just like, oh man, what if Carnage got into this mix? Ah!
Carnage.
You look over and Carnage's head is just like, you can just see like Ritk's feet sticking out from the other side, probably, is all.
That's awesome.
Look, Ragnar is entirely wrapped around Cecilia, otherwise you would have had to add the bear in too. Because hashtag envoy menagerie.
Yeah.
But your watch will pass. And now it is the last watch of the evening.
Delmay, you have to wake up.
Delmay-
Us.
Yeah, Delmay and Vishard will wake up Russ and
Vishard will wake up Fedor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Russ and Fedor.
Fedor will, you know... Vishard doesn't have to get too close, he just has to kind of walk over, and Fedor's up and his eyes are open, and he just kind of... That long... That old soldier, yep, I'm awake. Okay, let's do this, kind of thing.
Hey, Russ.
First one, enough to make a contact with you. It's like pings in. Oh. All right.
Good morning.
Morning. What happened during your watch?
Nothing. We didn't see anything or hear anything, and I made some chicory.
Good. Did Vishard drink it?
He did, but he was kind of focused on other stuff. So he drank a little bit of it, but I mean, it's gonna take time for this stuff to work. But it was at least it was a good time well spent figuring out how to get it to taste good. You know?
I imagine he probably was a little bit upset about what happened in the dream.
Yeah,
Makes
my
sense.
guess is that's why he's not really talking much. Did he mention that he did get away from Lady Talus in the dream, but then had to come? I didn't really catch what was going on.
Oh,
I was more
no.
panicked about all of you being connected in a dream and you falling out of the sky.
Yeah, well, it seemed like something happened where one of those two, or I don't know which happened first, but Bashard and Ritka somehow got pulled into this dream by probably Lady Talus, I assume. And then I got pulled in as well. And
How did that happen? How did you weren't there in the beginning? You were, but even though you were asleep, you wake up, you go flying to check, and then you get pulled into the dream after. I don't understand.
right.
The timing of you going in confuses me.
Well, the whole thing, because if I remember correctly, that was Ritka's watch, so she wasn't asleep either. So it was her watch. She got pulled into a dream, but she wasn't asleep. Bashard was asleep. I was awake when I got pulled in, so clearly there's some sort of magical.
Oh, I thought you and I were both asleep and they woke us up.
Well, what happened was that one of the Kernish people woke us up with some kind of alarm. So I went up to
Oh,
the
you
sky.
were awake when you got pulled in. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the question, and it wasn't at the same time. Like Ritka and Vashard were already in there by the time they
I don't
woke
know.
us up.
Right. I don't know if they came in at the same time or if they were at different times. I don't know. All I know is that one was awake, one was asleep, and they were both in there. I got pulled in afterwards. I suppose you must have made a ward to protect everybody else. I don't know. Although I came in after the ward. Nonetheless, in there was some sort of dream of the future of what it was going to be like when Vashard was a vampire, I suppose, and Lady Talus was there, as was the Lich King, and seemed to be a bit of a problem because dreams are not necessarily only dreams, especially if they're magically induced.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, spirit dancers do all sorts of things in what some might call a dream, and well, this was clearly no regular dream. It was some sort of assault of some sort.
Yeah, because my guess is because I did see magic. I couldn't tell what it was, but it was I believe the caster was also familiar, like this casting signature. My guess is Ritka got hit with some sort of a spell and Vashard got dragged in for some reason, and then you did too. Although it's interesting that my ward couldn't protect you.
Well, I wasn't inside your ward's range. I was up in the sky at the time, which, as I imagine, is probably part of it. But I also
so she just wants to. Like, is she trying? This is some mental warfare. She's attacking them in their sleep and I don't know, trying to slowly make them feel like this is the inevitable future, lose hope, lose their will to fight?
Perhaps. I'm also concerned that why is he awake?
Oh, right. We're doing 2 people on each watch so no one's alone in case there's another attack.
He's not a member of the Sovereign's Finest.
But he's a part of the group of sleeping people.
He's not a member of the Sovereign's Finest, though. Well, that's just more for me to do. Nonetheless, these two are, what do you call them? Knights of the Skull who escaped her, and I don't think she likes that very much, and I think it's a little bit strange that they were not pulled in either. When,
Well, 3 of the 7 of us were.
Right, but 2 of them have very strong connections to Lady Talus, and so do 2 others. That's a little odd, and I don't know why they weren't pulled in when the other people who are connected to her in some way were.
Maybe they're, I don't know, maybe she's well, we know that she's focused on Vitka, and we know that Vashard's her plaything. I don't know why you were pulled in there, because honestly, if I were her and if I wanted to keep them in that dream, you're the last one I would send in after them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you're the most likely to get them out.
Vashard got us out. He did very good. But they're Knights of the Skull, and they've escaped, and well, we've had assassins coming after the whole group, or us, them. They've been injured. Clearly, people know that they're, well, whoever was in charge of that detail of assassins escaped. So they definitely know that they're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's just something to note. I don't know what it means yet, but it's just something I note.
I mean, what you're stating is facts. So, like, we don't know, and it's interesting. We don't know what's gonna happen. I don't get any bad feelings off of them. So, but like you said, like, they just be cautious and verify everything they say, right? Like,
it's just all about gathering information, knowledge.
Yes.
You weren't pulled in either, though.
I wasn't.
But I imagine that's because you're protected by a goddess, so...
I don't think I'm protected by a goddess. I think the goddess... It was more that she was entertained by me.
Which is more than most people. I mean, she had a whole conversation with you. That's pretty amazing. Like, I mean, you had a conversation with one of the... I mean, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty amazing.
I don't know why. I mean, she was pretty cool, but I mean, what worries me more, and I'm glad she came and told me that the time traveling was my fault.
Well, I wouldn't say it was your fault. It's just a thing that happened. I have a theory about why she came to you.
Really? Delmay's chicory is still in her system, so she's awake. Please do share this theory.
Well, I don't know if you want to hear it. It's a thought that I had.
Sure, I love theories.
Well,
I'm sure yours is better than mine. I don't really have one. It's just more wild musings.
Well, how much do you know about the Eternal Dance? The Wheel of Rebirth and all that?
Is there a role I make for that, DM?
That could be...
Whatever she knows from books. I do know that.
Okay, so you would know probably a lot. I mean, it's the discussion of the gods and the eternal dance and the fracture of the dance and the rise of the shadow demons and everything tied to that is the core religion of Aldis. It's like what everybody practices in it is the religion of Aldis.
Yeah.
Even if some people are not necessarily as ardent believers as others. Everybody knows that there is the possibility of reincarnation. Everybody knows that corruption is horrible because it pulls you out of the wheel of the dance. Spirit dance, there's the temple of and spirit dancers, and you may not be like a priest theologian, but like the basics,
Okay. So, I tell Russ just that. I mean, I've picked up a lot over the years just by virtue of being in Aldis, but I wouldn't say I never pursued specific studies in it.
Well, you see, there are 3 qualities that make up the Eternal Dance, that place where we all came from and where we will all go back to when we ascend through our reincarnations to our higher selves. And this is important. I mean, this is everything that is. I mean, there's nothing more beautiful than the eternal dance if we can ever get back there. And I know that our souls will get there eventually, but the eternal dance itself has three qualities that are what makes up this thing, this beautiful thing. And I've been thinking about those. And they are joy, love, and unity. And I think out of everybody I've ever met in my life, I think that you embody those three qualities the most. And so if there was anybody who one of the brilliant gods would speak to, I think it would be you, because you embody all that is the eternal dance. That's what I think. That's my theory. Those are the virtues. You are, in some ways, I feel like you are one of the best embodiments of the virtues of the eternal dance and what is pure. So that's my theory.
That's an incredibly flattering theory, right?
Wow.
But I'm not all of that.
I think you are.
I'm more of a, I don't know. I don't think somebody who embodied all of that would give their mother as many almost heart attacks as I have. But
that's on your mom.
Is it though? I mean, I feel like I've given you quite a scare.
Oh, you have, but that's
12.
not the point. The point is still, nonetheless, despite all of that, I don't know anyone more joyous, more full of love, and who cares more about unity than you do. And you've just demonstrated that in all the time that I've known you. So,
thanks, Russ. Well, how about this? Next time, if ever, I speak to any god or goddess, I will say hi to them for you. And I will ask them if they can help me stop dragging all of you all over time.
Well, actually, if you speak to one, I think I would ask if you might ask them, about changing timelines. That's a question that I wonder about.
Well, if you had the choice, if you could go back in time, but not change the timeline,
which I hope is what we've done.
What would you still want to go back? I know most people, if they're given a chance to go back in time and, change their mistakes, they would choose. So I think that's just a part of life.
Well, I would have to find out if it's proper to do so first, because if it's not proper, then I wouldn't do it.
But if there are no repercussions, if God says it's okay, I assume that's just a part of living life, that there's probably some mistakes everyone has made that they'd love to go fix if they get a free do-over. But what if there is no free do-over? Would you rather not go back and revisit it all, or would you rather go back and cherish the extra experiences for what they are?
Well, I don't need to go back to the past. The past is always with me, of course. Nothing from the past goes away. It's always there. So I wouldn't go back for selfish reasons. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, it's just something happening. But then I have another question. Now, what if a god or goddess says you can go back and do whatever you want? It's not going to change the present. So there are no repercussions for going back into the past, going into the past. What would you want to do then? How would you have, instead of taking flight, would you have stayed and spent an extra day with your friend?
No, I wouldn't. Because there's another me out there in the past, and that other me is living their life then. And I wouldn't be right. My job is to be where I'm at in the moment, in the present, and to work to fight corruption. spending time in the past is not healthy, I don't think.
Oh, I agree. But if you're there and there's no repercussions,
There's always a repercussion. You may not change the timeline, but there's always a repercussion. And
or there's a reason you're in the past. Maybe there's some lesson to learn by going there.
that's why I'd want to talk to a god about it first.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, let's I'm gonna close my eyes real tight and see if I can make that happen for us.
Oh, wait till we get home first. Yeah.
It's a god. I don't care.
Oh, well, you meant talking to a god. That's fine. I meant not traveling back to the past.
Oh, I have no control over that. Sorry.
That's true. Look, I'm going on watch,
Okay, yeah.
double watch. Anyway, just know that you're special. That's all.
Thank you, Russ. I think you're very special as well.
All right, I'm taking off.
All right. Delbey will curl up next to Whisper and fall asleep.
And sleep will bring you peaceful dreams. Russ, when you finally decide to stop talking to Delmay, you will notice that Fedor is up, sitting next to the remnants of the fire, just stoking it enough to keep it going.
Russ takes to the sky and does double watch. Watches outside and also inside.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll perception seeing.
Come here, Russet. Because now he's got to watch Fodor and also outside. Okay. Perception seeing. Let's see how that goes. 20.
Bad. Not bad. You can, you do your pan around. You will notice that Fedor is being extremely professional. This is not the first watch he's kept. This isn't even he probably can't even count anymore how many watches he's kept at night.
Certainly, but he's a guest and not a member of the Sovereign's Finest. So he can do what he wants, but that does not impact what Russ is doing, which is doing watch for the unit.
Mm-hmm. There's also, it's quiet in that pre-dawn era. A couple hours before dawn. Nothing. Not a lot moving at this point. The wind is picked up just a little bit. There's a hint of cloud you can just begin to see shifting to your east. It looks natural and smells natural. It's just a late autumn storm building over the mountains. Probably gonna sweep down the plain towards the water in the near future.
So I ponder how much time we have, but I note it, sort of its bearing. I sort of keep an eye on it as I circle.
You circle and watch. The hour before the end of your watch, in that pre-dawn, false dawn, you see a couple lights come on at the farmstead. Farmers getting up for the day early. You see your fire start to rise again as Fedor acknowledges the time and just starts stoking it back up so that breakfast can be had and morning beverages can be consumed by those who require them.
And Russ flies down and pecks with his beak on Vashard and then on Delmay. And then if after those two people, he imagined that Fedor's going to wake up Dmitri, and he doesn't know which one's going to get to Ritka first. He'll just find out. But he's going to peck awake.
Greenwich?
No. That's your job.
Same.
But he will, like little peck. Book, book, buck, 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 on their little
I'm up.
Oh.
I'm up.
Vashard is awake, but doesn't look happy about it. But he also doesn't look as tired as he's been the last couple days.
And then he'll, ping Vashard and give him a report that basically all is well, watches down and all is well, and then sort of note, just watch out for there's a storm coming up. This bearing sort of gives that word, and will disseminate the information about the storm to Delme and also Ritka. And then he's going to go and he's going to poke on Cecilia. Just like, knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock.
Cecilia will pull that roll over and just like pull the covers over her head and say, "I'm not getting up."
Oh.
Well, at least you're not dead or in a coma, magically induced.
Growth.
Oh, well, I'm gonna go get breakfast, and then I'll be back for moving on.
Okay. Yeah. And Delme will help start with breakfast since they have this new influx of sturdy food. Try to make something edible. They have a lot of walking ahead of them again. How many? They're like, what, 4 more days of walking at least till they get to the outskirts?
4 days till you get to the villa.
To the villa? Okay.
Okay.
And then Ritka.
Yes.
When Russ wakes up Vashard and Delme, and then Cecilia, Fedor has come over and woken up Dmitri.
She just looks over at him. She's not asleep.
Yeah, he knows that you didn't sleep at all last night. And he will say in Kernish, I know that sometimes not sleeping it happens, but on top of the reason you did not sleep last night, are you alright?
I will be fine. I tried to sleep. I think I got a good 20 minutes in.
Yes, and the last time I said that I got 20 minutes in, you said that I was going to... What did you say? I want to make sure I put these words correctly. You wanted me to be in front of you, that way any failing on my part would not end up with you being stabbed literally in the back.
I will stand in front of you today then.
Alright. You will mechanically take a point of fatigue, however.
Yeah. Oh no, I figured as much, but after an experience like that, girl was not gonna be able to, oh, let me just get a nice night of sleep. No, that was not gonna happen. Just no.
And then Fedor would say, and do not think your friend, the hawk, likes me. Or no, he would say,
I don't think he likes many people. I mean, he doesn't like me, so. He just like shrugs, like, eh? What can you do?
So he will acknowledge and start pulling, move over so that he and Dmitri can start getting their stuff together and breakfast. Dmitri, however, is also going to mechanically take a point of fatigue because he basically stayed awake to keep you
Yeah, we had a big carnage cuddle and chat and quietly chatted. Yeah.
Mm,
She will, like, if she's helping make breakfast and if like everyone gets like 2 slices of bacon or whatever, she'll give him one of her slices of bacon as like a thank you. I feel like that's a big thank you in Kern, like in Kernish culture.
you're sharing the meat rations. Very important.
It is, yeah.
He will acknowledge it and then sit himself seated next to Delme. And he'll turn to Delme as he's eating and go, "So, what are your feelings on orgies?"
Delme finishes chewing her bite of whatever kind of. I feel like they have a lot of porridgey things, grainy things with water
porridge
in them.
and bacon, easy to cook up over the campfire. Yeah.
Yeah, so she just finishes slowly chewing her porridge and says, "Well, they seemed interesting in literature, but I feel like the logistics could be difficult in the moment." Why?
You know, because I encourage everyone to participate in an orgy at least once to see how you like it. And, you know, hopefully it's a good orgy and you don't get turned off by, like, a bad organizer, because those are, you know.
That's fair. I mean, yes, if you're going... I mean, I live my life by I give most things a try once. I mean, as long as it's not like, you know...
The safe, sane, and
outright
consensual.
murder or torture, things like that. You know, like most things, though, if they don't really hurt anyone, I'll give it a try. It's fine.
Yes, right. Not outright murder or torture. I mean, like, and he'll kind of drape an arm over your shoulder, but he's keeping it kind of quasi... He's keeping it platonic. He's, like, not moving his hand to your front of your shoulder. Yeah. He's just draping it along the back of your neck. And then he'll turn and he's like, "I mean, if you want to practice, Ritka and Fedor and I have thrown wonderful orgies."
Not wrong.
So, is that what you're putting on the table here?
I mean, I'm not turning it down. But I'm offering, I mean, like, I've seen watching, and then there's you and Ritka, and then you and the doctor, and then you and the stabby boy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is what happens when you throw a bunch of attractive people out in the middle of wilderness together. Nature takes over. I'm with you. It's surprising it has it, but also we are in the open and there's no privacy. So, and
it's an orgy. There really isn't a lot of privacy at an orgy.
It would be fine if everybody were to be in it, but I think maybe we have to hold off out of respect for somebody who cannot be a part of the orgy. Russ. Like, where would Russ go if the rest of us
is he not? I mean, like, he could participate. I mean, he may not participate physically, but there are always voyeurs.
I mean, from what I've heard Russ say about
there's no. I mean, it's not a good orgy if there's no voyeurism. Please.
I mean, it is an interesting and intriguing offer, but once again, I think we need to find the right place and the right time.
All right. And he'll take that arm that was around you, you know, and just pull it off. He's in your personal space, but he's respecting your boundaries. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
And then he'll turn back to Fedor and turn to say in Kernish, loud enough that Ritka can hear, and she'll just say, "Well, hopefully that will get you the orgy that you want, Ritka." Don't say I didn't do anything. I never did anything for you.
Well, whereas Delby's just like, I just got. What just happened? We're Fedor and Dimitri like, let's throw an orgy. You want to come? We're throwing one. Here's the invitation. You
Like,
feel
if you
free
need
to
one,
show
we're
up
great
when you want.
organizers. Yeah.
Well, the word organizer was thrown around.
Yes, I believe the term that came out of that was organizer.
An organizer, yeah.
Oh, alrighty. Okay, well, they are getting into a city.
And your parents' villa.
Well, there's other places to rent. But most importantly, Delmay's concern really is like, okay, if you're gonna have like a 4-person orgy, you can't do it because in the open with other people, because where are they gonna go? It's just gonna be awkward for them. But
only 4 people?
No,
Counting
but,
at least,
but
like...
they did also say like, oh no, this is also gonna include Vishard and Cecilia. Okay, that's great, but that now leaves the super awkward part of like what Russ has to go like twiddle his wings in the sky somewhere for an X number of hours. Like that's just awkward. It's just awkward for everybody involved. But I don't know. Now I'm just picturing this elaborate party.
But also, we're still on duty. Like, we're still on duty.
Well, Russ could be on. But put the animals on watch. It's fine. I mean, people are gonna tap in and out. If you're not tapped in, you're on watch. That's your break. You get a snack, you get a drink, and you watch. Not the orgy, but the surroundings.
Is that why you have 2 people on watch? One to watch the orgy, one to watch security?
Yeah, supervise, and then
supervise.
security, yeah.
No, the animals would be keeping watch.
Oh, that's, yeah.
I mean, this would not be interesting to them. They're animals. They're just like, whatever. This is like a Tuesday. It's not like they go into bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a mess of sorry to the chat for everything that just happened.
I feel like Russ eats faster than y'all because he doesn't have to cook food. He just
Yeah, that's fair. It just has to hunt
consumes
it.
Yeah, he just has to find it, consume it. So he'll sort of like keep up in the sky until y'all are ready to move.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Cecilia will be moving through and basically will be, she's added to the follow NPC list.
Yeah. She's zombieing along with us.
Yep.
Okay, well, I guess we know what direction Aldis is in.
All right. And Russ will probably connect Vishard with Cyric for like the report, like as is his job. So just like where we're at, we've moved forward. Here we are, that kind of thing, and then go on to like do the scouting where you move forward, check back, go on. To make sure that as you do on patrol, make sure everybody is safe and that there's nothing surprising coming up upon us, and also keeping note of the storm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm assuming we have some follow NPCs, so
Mm-hmm. You've got a lot of them.
Yeah, I think Whisper and Asen usually tend to take the lead on the ground.
Usually what happens is Vishard will take point, the wolves will be just off of him either side, followed by Delme, Cecilia, Fedor, and Dimitri. Ragnar, Carnage, and then Ritka and Carnage.
We're a freaking walking carnival.
Yes, you
Yeah.
are.
Carnage has to be in the back, so Rika and Carnage take up the rear.
Oh my gosh, can you? I'm really excited to see Delmay's mom's face when this freaking thing rolls into town.
This menagerie.
I know.
So, who would you like as you make your way? We're going to do some wonderful survival rolls. Russ, I need you to make one perception tracking or perception navigation.
Can do.
It's
that navigation's falls under intelligence.
yeah. Hold on,
so
it's the other one. What is it?
Perception tracking. Tracking is to follow somebody. Navigation is to get places.
Yeah, it's navigation.
Okay. A 7 with 3 stunt points.
I mean, it's not hard to find the river. It takes you a little longer than you're expecting. Don't know why, but it takes you a little longer. But you finally do make your way, come across the river, and then it's easy to just follow the river down, because you know that at some point Aldis will be on the river.
Because it's a good place. I will use those 3 stunts to, I'm going to say that makes me wonder.
Okay.
Which is, I may immediately make another perception test at no additional cost or time or resources to discover more information about your surroundings.
Yeah, but you didn't make a perception test.
Okay, so then I will use object of your attention. Receive a +1 bonus to further test to examine or perceive additional aspects of the object of your test until the time or venue changes. So for traveling.
Okay. That's fine. You are going to proceed. The weather is chilled. You all feel it. Well, maybe not the wolves and the bear, but, you know, everybody else is starting to feel the chill in the air. The scent of rain not too far off. As you make your way down along the river, Cecilia is a little grumpy, a little, you know, awake and aware, but still very much of a, I don't wanna. Cecilia's in a full I don't wanna, which is a little odd.
Yeah.
But, I need anyone who wishes to make a perception seeing.
Oh, I love using my eyeballs.
Yes, your eyeballs.
The goodest girl will.
18. With the -1. Hot damn.
That is very nice. Whisper, Ritka. Russ, are you rolling? You're muted, so we can't tell you.
Is this perception for people in the group or for outside things?
Perception seeing.
No, I won't roll.
Okay. You are making your way. Whisper has caught sight of a couple, you know, there are a couple deer tracks and the scent and, like, the trail of a deer. Like, I kind of wanna, but I'm too responsible, so I'm not going to.
Aww. Yeah.
And then Ritka, you're in the back, keeping watching as things proceed.
Rear guard.
You are disoriented for a moment. It's that you see something, on the horizon, that heat haze mirage for a moment. Weather mirage, maybe. And then it drifts away in the mist. And then you see something again. A rider on a single horse. Just kind of waiting at the next hillock.
Okie suck contact, try to make a call. What I do.
Yeah, you do.
Nice.
You get everybody in that if you want.
Yeah, sure. The lone riding horse on the hillock up ahead at the next intersection. Next hillock up ahead. Don't know why they're just sitting there waiting.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
I'll check it out. Thanks for the heads up.
Vishard will slow the group down to kind of pause. That level of you still look like you're moving to somebody who might be watching you, but you're slowed enough that he can wait for Russ's,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Marty just gets like real low. And it doesn't do anything to help hide him. He tries, bless him.
Look, all I can picture now is this, wyvern with like that crested feathers of a eastern dragon and, slightly pearlescent scales trying to hide behind a brown bear.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like
not working.
No.
But he's
no.
trying really hard.
He is, bless him. Just
and Rick can just pat.
Yes, Coldrake is
You're
right.
doing
Carnage
great.
is like Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yes.
Except blue.
And flies.
Russ, roll me perception seeing.
Okay. A 16.
You do see this figure on horseback.
I will take advantageous positioning.
Okay. They seem to just be sitting there, waiting. Armored.
Sigils.
No, nothing. No banners, no sigil, no crest, no herald. Armor black with the helm down, but it's that black of... It's not the black of the exploding assassins, it's the black of what would have traditionally been called a black knight, a knight who paints their armor to lessen the cost of polishing or polishing out dings and all of those things. Ooh, wait. But it's not threatening in any way. It's a type of errant, knights errant, true knights errant.
I will take a minor action to mark it as my target.
Okay.
And I'm going to fly over and see if there are more people where it came from. It's like, since it's there, waiting with weapons, I'm going to see if there are more of them, if there are others, where it came from, trying to sort of see its...
I should point out that he does not have any weapons drawn. There is a sword at his side, but he doesn't have it drawn. It's sheathed for riding, not even sheathed for mounted assault.
Yeah, so I'm going to see if there are more of them, if there's like a potential ambush, or where this being came from. So like I'm gonna sort of fly across it and sort of track backwards, as it were, to see, where it came from.
Okay.
And if it has friends. This being. So I'll do a tracking.
I'm sure he has friends, just maybe not with him.
We don't know. And I'll get a +1 because he is marked.
I hope they have friends.
Uh,
Really lonely if they didn't.
Tracking. So that'll be a 14.
14.
So I get a +1.
He is alone. Just
Where did he come from?
he seems to have been coming from the river. You don't, like, there's a road along the river. You can't. It's not like he came from behind you. He could have come from anywhere west of you.
Uh-huh.
Just happens to be at this point along the river. There isn't a village nearby that you can make out, at least within what I assume would be flying distance to get back to everybody else.
Yeah, because I've got a big speed. So I'm going to, because I don't actually have to get back because we're in psychic contact. So I'm going to say, I don't see any other people with him. Knight, armed, just waiting for the party to arrive. But he's got no heraldry, no banners, so he's obscuring his identity. Be careful. I'm going to see if I can find out more. If he came from Aldis or somewhere else. I'm going to keep looking. I'll try to keep within speed so I can come back quickly enough. Be careful.
You as well.
Vishard will acknowledge. And what would you like Vishard to do?
Ugh. We gotta go that way or loop awkwardly around. And it's not like we're not in visual. Dude's seen us.
Because you're a huge menagerie.
He knows we're there.
We
know
might as
he's
well
there.
just pass by.
Delme will say, I think we should just go.
Play really nonchalant. Just walk.
Yeah.
Casually
We're
past.
just two travelers on a road. I mean, also the last time we saw a traveler,
more than two, but
last time we saw a traveler, we were not in our current timeline. So
no,
that could be what happened.
I'd
Just
like
remember,
to hope that we are on our current timeline.
You've got a wyvern, they're going to be suspicious. And once you deal with this encounter, expect them to try to follow us, perhaps. That's like the last one did. So just...
we could casually slip a rope over Carnage's neck. Not that it'll do anything, but they can make it seem like we've captured the wyvern.
Ooh.
He's looking at you right now, so he's gonna see you do it.
Well, like we're at quite a distance in the rain, though. So like if we just did it real casually, you probably wouldn't be able to tell this distance.
It hasn't started raining yet, but
it's just about to rain. Yeah.
We're probably far enough to where you can't tell something like a rope from that far. Though.
Yeah, and he's in the back behind a bear and me, so we could just be like.
Yeah, we are headed to. Okay, we are definitely headed in the direction of Aldis, so it makes sense.
We are probably going to run into more people from Aldis the closer we get, so maybe that
exactly.
Is a good idea.
We need a story for Carnage anyway.
Right. Yes, people are definitely going to believe this little rope is keeping him here, but it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
What are Fyodor and Dmitri wearing?
they aren't wearing their Skull Knight armor because everybody they didn't have it when you met them. They had armor, but it was not the formal armor of Skull.
No.
Chainmail.
Is it obviously Kernish?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, like, the plate is much more obviously Kernish, but it's chainmail that looks like somebody rides. It is a mounted combatant. It just means that it goes longer to the knees.
Yeah.
That could be anybody.
Yeah. Just checking to make sure we don't scream, Kern!
Kern! Yeah. Rick will be like, Carnage, I'm going to give you a pretty bow. You're going to be so handsome, and I'm going to hold the other end of it. Out loud to him.
Mm-hmm.
And just whoop the bow and the rope on. They are so handsome.
And he will slightly preen.
Yes.
Delme will go up to Rika again and say, Rika, do you want me to ask Carnage to act?
You know, I've never. He's very good at acting mean and fierce and vicious. What do you want him to act as?
Well, I was thinking maybe
But I know he's very
dejected
thrilled
and
with his new bow.
captured? Dejected and captured, and not like we are maybe taking him against his will, but not such
He's
a happy
like,
boy.
"Hmm."
Yeah, maybe less of a happy boy.
We can try.
Yeah,
Never really been anything that we've done before, but
I don't
you
know.
give it a go.
I just say I have animal handling as a skill. I gotta use it at some point.
I mean,
I'm like a master in animism. Gotta use it at some point.
you can definitely try.
I want to try. I'm gonna try to talk to Carnage or
Carnage.
communicate with Carnage. Okay. 16.
Yep, friend. Hello, friend.
Hi, friend. So we're gonna pass somebody, and we thought it would be really fun to make a joke. Do you like a joke?
Yes, we do fun things.
Yes.
We make it
fun
funny.
things with your mama and us, and we want them to think that we're taking Carnage to the city, and Carnage does not want to go. Carnage sad. But not really. Just joke.
Do I have to give up my bow? I like my bow.
No.
My bow is nice.
No, we can give you more than one bow. How about that? What if your mom has one bow, and I have one bow, and we can give your other friends some bows too?
Yes, all the bows. I look pretty.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to be pretty.
Great plan. And I think that you see a little scuttle. It's like we all tie various ropes at Carnage.
Ropes around Carnage. There we go. That's more convincing. You look so pretty,
This-
Carnage.
This is why we played this game, guys.
And I'm here for that. I'm here
We're
for
just
that.
making sure the wyvern's very secure before passing by this,
Yeah.
person.
All right, and then Delma will be like, "Okay, so we have Carnage is gonna be very good and very convincing, and now we have to be very good and very convincing as his captors." Mean mugs on.
Right. Sure. Imagine it's like Delme, Ritka, Dimitri, and Fedor each holding like
Yeah.
a rope.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
Vashard and the rest of the menagerie acting as like forward.
rear guard.
Yeah, forward. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just-
They've got us surrounded. We're
Mhm.
definitely taking
Like a
Carnage
wolf
in
on each side.
Yeah.
To Harry, if need be.
It's very
Yeah.
I feel like this would be kind of a sight. Like now that we're describing it with like the wolves on the side and the swords and
Mhm.
like
It
it's
looks
like,
a lot
like Game
more
of Thronesy,
convincing.
like
Yeah.
an armed escort.
much less like, oh yeah, it's just my buddy following me. It's like, oh no, we actually like captured one maybe. Yeah, because he can only carry 3 people, so 4 people are, not gonna end good for them if he really wanted to go, but it looks more convincing. Just
Yeah. And Dalme will also tell the wolves to like look super on like at work, like
yeah.
guard dog mugging. I don't know.
Look, you're asking.
My brain's a weird place.
You're asking for Asen and Whisper to mug for the camera. Have you
Yeah.
seen dogs? If you're like, throw a camera in front of them and they're like, oh, yes, I will entirely make this all about me. I will not do what you want necessarily. I will not
Yeah.
hold still for 10 seconds, but that camera, I'm just gonna play to it. Yeah, they'll
But
play
you
to it.
see, the reason this works in our favor is either they'll be superimposing puppers or they'll be cute as shit puppers. In either case,
Either way, it
attention will
works,
be off
yeah.
of us. Use the menagerie to our advantage.
Use the
This
menagerie.
is why she's a beast master.
Use the menagerie for your advantage. Vishard will have Ragnar with him as kind of like a
Mhm.
additional
I mean,
forward.
that's gotta
This is
be
the muscle
really
in the front.
intimidating.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
fuck off bear coming at you. Woo!
And we will find out exactly how things go
Let's
when we come
receive.
back from the break.
Either way, this is probably a good plan for continuing to advance into Aldis. If people see us from distance, then this should cover us a little better. Yeah.
Well, now we've gone from just being a menagerie to being a traveling circus. Hey.
Look
I
at your
imagine-
sideshow.
We can have somebody who like stands on top of Carnage. It'll be Ritka while flying. A lot of aerobatics.
Look, there'll be juggling at some point, and then
Absolutely.
so many things. But this is the break. Go get refreshed, get yourself some more water, check all of the things, and we'll see you in a little bit. Bye, everybody.
Pew, pew.
Hello, everyone. And we're back. There's a dark rider on a hill. And
Yep.
Carnage has new bow. He looks very stylish.
Time to do a joke.
Time to do a funny. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you make your way forward up this hill. Russ did a flyby and then flew away. Correct? Am I?
Yep, flew over
Yep.
to go and track where he was coming from, to figure out where he was coming from. That might give us any information to see if he has friends laying in wait somewhere.
There doesn't
Trying to-
seem to be anybody laying in wait. It just looks like he was following the road and is just sitting on the top of this hill.
And we
chilling.
don't know where he was coming from, if he was coming from Aldis or from other direction.
Well, no, I mean,
guy's
he
just like,
didn't
"Oh
come
my
from
God,
behind you.
Yeah.
And so
He came from either in front of us, left or right. But
Yeah.
he's just been stationary as long as we've seen him. We haven't
Yep.
seen him coming from
Man.
anywhere. Yeah.
I bet he saw us and was like, "Holy shit, that's a fucking wyvern," and like froze in place. Like, we're the scary
Possibly.
people here.
Yeah. Like, well, what are these people up to?
So you make your way down and through and up. Russ. As you fly
Yes.
off on your path. I need you to roll me willpower psychic.
Okay, I just have willpower, so I'll just give you that. 19 with 6 stump points.
There's something weird. You feel this brush. Of like psychic energy across your wings. Like the air currents have just shifted minutely for a minute, then shifted back.
Heads up, I felt something strange. There might be danger. Keep your mind about you.
Noted.
Something arcane. Something's not right, so be careful.
You continue up this hill.
Can Delmay use second sight as they're approaching?
Sure. Happy to have you do so.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, it's on the other page. Arcana. Second sight. Oh, plus. Oh, the plus 2 did work. Okay.
Yeah, put the focus in.
Sweet.
You glance around. There is like almost a mirage, heat mirage in front of you. In front of this figure on this hill.
Have I seen something like that before?
It reminds you of like an arcane, like ward of some sort, perhaps, or like a shield.
Okay.
You also see the connection between Ritka and Vishard and Lady Talus. Vishard looks a little better this morning than he has been the last week.
Mm-hmm.
But
And Fedor and Dimitri too, right?
Fedor and Dimitri too, it's like they're at the same kind of level of red as Vishard. Ritka is much more gray and like salmon pink.
I can't remember. Is Delmay in this psych call with Russ and everybody? Okay, so she will say, "It looks like it might be a protective barrier or a ward of some sort," which Makes sense if I was alone and
Oh,
a carnival was approaching.
I'm not that
Hmm.
close to the rider, and I'm feeling it a bit of a distance away. So just be careful. Keep your feathers, you know,
Yeah. I mean,
ready.
we can ask Cecilia to throw one up.
Well, just when you do the chatting, just be aware. Could be some sort of a something illusion or
Yeah.
who knows what. So
Fair.
just be careful. I'll be close.
So I think I want to leave second sight up. And so Delme would ask if Cecilia can cast a ward, because I think she has that too.
Cecilia, do you have ward?
I think ward's on a place, right? So I don't
Or a
think it travels
person.
with you? Oh, okay.
It can emanate from you.
Nice.
It can emanate from you.
And I think it's something per it's like 5 feet per level too.
Mm-hmm.
Radius. So it can get pretty big. Well, which is why I always thought that Russ was in the ward when he was in the sky and fell down.
I was
Yeah.
pretty high up.
You were,
But
you were.
But let's see.
You weren't flying high. You were flying. And
Yeah, but I was
Delme's
circling,
ward
which is
goes
at
up
least-
40 feet.
Oh, all right, because I'm at least 20 feet up.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
I was
okay.
like, I checked the math. You were in. That's how you ended up in the dream.
Yeah.
A ward begins to shimmer out from Cecilia over all of you. Yeah. She's holding it steady at the moment.
Okay. All right, and I guess you just keep
Vishard will have is kind of holding back just a little bit to, he's going to get there first, but I also he's not a talking NPC at the moment, so
And Russ will be on
No.
the other side of the rider. Quite a few yards because my speed is a lot. So I can get back
All right.
pretty quickly.
Delme, would you like to
So-
do the talking? I mean, I can if you want, but
It's okay. I'll just act. No, it's fine. I'm assuming Ritka and Delme are kind of the front two.
yeah, the front two, yeah, with Fedor and
Yeah.
Dimitri behind.
So they can, as they just go up. Although I think as they're going up, Delme's like, should we just walk past?
Yeah, maybe
Not
just
talk?
play it cool, don't say anything. Yeah, maybe just like give the
Maybe
the
like a little
nod.
sup nod.
No, it's going to rain soon. Like, people in Alden comment on the weather all the time.
Hello. Good day. One of those. Sup.
Yes, good day. Looks like rain.
Yeah.
And they keep walking. Yes, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That is how I got by in the Pavin Weald for many years.
Oh my god. Who put
Hello,
Ritka
looks like
and
rain.
Delme in charge of communicating with other people? Jesus Christ. All right. So we go walk up this hill. Like I told you, they have their mean mugs on. And I think as they approach this, Delme's still staring at this person with second sight and looking for any strings, of course.
She's not looking around,
Russ goes up to flying high, so he's up there.
Yeah.
Okay. You make
Looking
your
for
way
any
up.
shift in this person's demeanor at all, movement.
They kind of shift on the horse, like
The
in that
horse
way of
dances
like
a
the
little
horse
bit.
is the horse is a little uncomfortable with your group, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
fair.
wonder why. 2 wolves, a bear, and a wyvern. This poor horse.
Sounds like the beginning
It's
of
a
a math problem.
very pretty roan. Its mane braided very intricately. Starts a little bit dancing. The rider controls the horse very well and shifts with the animal. And cocks their head as watches you walk by.
Morning.
There's no verbal response. Delmay,
Looks like rain, doesn't it? It's just the two of them. Yeah.
Delmay, go ahead and roll.
Guy's gonna get to a tavern and be like, "You would not believe what I saw earlier today."
You would not believe the shit I just saw. Would you go ahead and roll either perception psychic or willpower psychic?
16.
You feel this slight shift and like haze, this psychic almost wind as you walk by, the same thing that Russ felt, but it's closer to this figure as you literally walk by within yards of him. It's not just this psychic wind that you feel. There's something off about this person. They're not... There's just something off.
Does it feel off in a weird, familiar, Kernish kind of way?
I mean, you could roll me perception psychic or willpower psychic to determine that.
I think Delmay mentally in the meantime is just like, oh,
No.
friends, we have a problem.
Ritka!
Oh no.
Look,
Yeah?
sometimes you want somebody in the group to fail. I'm just saying. Or I want somebody in the group to fail. No. Ritka, as you say, looks like rain. You stare at this figure on the horse. And it's that brief moment of flashback where you're no longer on this plane in Aldis, you're on a similar plane in Kern, riding against a group of rebels. These ones actually managed to find horses and weapons.
Wow.
You know.
Someone dropped the ball.
Exactly. There were many people who were, you know, demoted,
Punished for this.
removed,
Yeah.
killed, in response to the aftermath, but it was very much... And their weapons weren't very good, and these people, you know,
But they had them.
they
They
had
had
them,
horses and weapons. How
they
dare
had
they?
horses and weapons and armor of a type, but they didn't have any order or, you know...
A lot of people got in trouble for that one.
Yeah. There wasn't anyone who, you know, could command an army or anything like this. There's a rabble who managed to get weapons.
Still though.
Eventually came to find out that they raided a bunch of tombs of Shadow Priests, you know, who had chosen to be buried with weapons, and that's how they got them. And then there was that whole bit about, you know, reinforcing tomb maintenance and all of that. But you're on that plane again, riding against these mostly peasants who pretended to be more than they were. And it's that feeling of... And the only other thing that you remember about that event is the unliving who followed behind this peasant rabble. Those who were haunting and wanted their weapons back.
Oh, fun.
Those ghosts who followed behind and watched and waited for you to decimate these failed attempt at a rebellion. So that they could take back what was theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
vibe. I get weird ghost vibes.
Yeah. And
I
like
think
I
she'll
had-
say that in the mental connection. Oh, I get weird ghost vibes from this guy, like undead, possibly.
Because Delme had just said like, "Oh, yeah, we have to stop. It's wrong. It's all wrong."
But Harry didn't have a horse, did he? Did he? He didn't have a horse like this. Just checking, because
No, I
he's the
think
only
he was
person
just
I can think of
on
that's
foot.
haunting us locally. All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
Definitely getting ghost vibes. Could be wrong, but it's just the vibe I'm picking up.
Delme will say, "Hey, traveler."
The figure will turn towards you and, like, nod. It hasn't raised the helm, hasn't changed pretty much anything.
How's the road from Aldis been so far? It's where we're headed, and curious, are there any big potholes we should know about?
Can you roll communication persuasion or communication,
18. Ooh, another one.
Ooh, you're so chatty. It's great. This is why we have you talk to people. Not very good.
Blah 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 blah.
This is exactly why we have Delme talk to the people. But also because, she's a little, leader in training. She may not know that, but she is.
No.
She's working on it.
No.
The figure will turn and look at Delme and say, "Road is not difficult. Careful. Yeah. Empress's army is riding out. You might want to do something. Hide yourselves a little bit better."
Oh. Out of curiosity, buddy, what year is it? She's asked this question way too many times in this game.
He is confused by your question.
I know it's a really weird thing to ask, but I'm really bad at math. Adelme's watching very closely to see if
And
he knows the
will
answer to this question.
answer
Okay.
Penthea Parain.
Is that correct or not?
Huh?
Is that correct or not?
Well, it's not 10 years of Jyla's reign. And he said Empress, not Queen.
That's what I was gonna ask. Empress is what made Delme.
Oh.
Well, Empress is why I
Mhm.
slash Delme asked.
Mhm.
Aw.
Perhaps this is it. In
In the psychic call, Delme's just like,
Perhaps
"Aw,
they ghost from the
fuck."
past. Maybe it's just a ghost from the past, and we are not in the past, but the
I
past
don't
just come to
know.
haunt
So
us.
one of us is in the wrong time. What do we do here? Russ,
Just
is there a
nodding
handbook
and nod and
on
smile?
what to do about ghosts? Can we just leave him be?
Is there a hand?
Let him ghost in peace. You're muted.
I imagine one of the to sense corruption. I don't know what arcane that is that does that.
Which I already have up.
Yeah. Does Delme?
I don't sense corruption.
Yeah.
You're bad ghosts.
Mm-hmm. Unsettled. Yeah, that's fair.
Is to know that information, is that intelligence faith? lore of some such? Arcane lore, maybe, or
Thank you, Coldrake. I'm sorry, I was muted. So ghosts are neither good, can be good or bad, and it depends on if they are corrupt or not. You would use intelligence to determine what the information. It would probably be either intelligence religious lore, intelligence arcane lore, or you could even use cultural lore, I would say.
I'll roll arcane lore too.
I'm not rolling because Russ is not a high
Oh.
intelligence character, does not have those skills. But one of y'all, right?
So a 15, you would know the basics of a ghost. It's like
Yeah.
a ghost can be good or good or bad. You know, if you sense corruption from them, then they are evil,
great.
and you will have to
Yeah.
fight them and do something about it.
Okay.
If you do not sense corruption, then they are poor lost souls who need assistance moving on to the and finishing whatever unfinished business that they have in the mortal realm.
Delme will share that in the call and just ask. So, don't think he's a bad guy, just a unsettled one. Do we? I don't know. Are we morally obliged to help Russ?
I don't know what the Sovereign's Finest would say, but
I think you're the moral compass of this group, buddy.
no, I'm just noting that officially I don't know what they would say, but I would say that any kind of spirit that has been removed from the wheel of rebirth, that is bad for, well, the entire universe.
Okay.
Thank you for the heads up about the Empress's armies heading this way. I will take your words into consideration. What are you doing out here on the road? Like, you know, like why are you giving out this heads up? This is kind of weird. Yeah. Hey, buddy, what you doing here? You know?
I'm providing some assistance to those who need some support.
Delme
What
looks
is-
around.
and then he will point. What is that? He will point at the wyvern.
Oh, it's easy.
Okay, quick. Wyvern history check. Do they exist back then?
Fun fact: no, they don't.
No.
Okay. All right.
The wyverns are created specifically for Kern as a response to the Sorcerer Shadow Wars.
Hmm.
But dragons exist at this point.
Yeah,
Yes.
but they're the size of cats.
But they're tiny. This is an interesting oddity we have found. You know dragons, right? Well, why is one this big? We are, going to find out. Just
We're just gonna
cover story. It's
Take her to the-
scientific.
Yeah,
Yes.
the queen, the empress's people. But hey, where are the people you're guiding? Helping.
I try and make sure that they don't run across the wrong sorts of folk.
Oh, we're not the wrong sorts. These
It's just giant dragon in his opinion. Like, why is it so big? We don't know. We're finding out.
But yeah, hey, what's your name? I'm Delme.
Roll communication persuasion again.
Okay.
Uh,
Hey, buddy.
You asked his name.
19.
Ooh, Delme.
No, 19.
That is a very good roll. Excuse me, sorry. And he will look at you, kind of evaluating, and he still hasn't raised the helm. Am called, Engelmar, our son.
Cultural lore? Would that the name?
Cultural
interesting
lore
thing?
or
historical lore?
I
Historical
don't have
lore?
historical. Do you have his? Oh, you have historical.
Well,
But I'm not great in all this.
you aren't great in all this. It's not a
Like,
great.
I don't know this guy.
All right, so who we got? 16. The name seems familiar. You've heard of you may have heard, particularly because you live in Aldis Delme, of
And spend a good time in the library.
and spend a good
Not
time at
Cecilia
a
amount of times. But
library, and you have particular friends, don't you? You do. You have
Yeah.
a friend.
yeah. Oh, right. Yes, I do have a friend.
You have a friend. But you've heard of like, and it's hard because again, this is from a period of time, and you know him using the Empress as the title would automatically give it away because there's only one Empress. There's only one Empress that is ever referred to, and that is Empress Delshana the First, and she has some issues. There's a lot of them. Excuse me, not how did she spell her name? It's you know that it would immediately be the how Delsha. Sorry, Delsha. I added extra syllables. She's the only Empress. She's the only person who'd ever claimed the title of Empress. It's the minute he said Empress, that's who you would know.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's so much from that period of time of history that's lost, both intentionally, because a large number of people just kind of, after she died, like, there's shadow wars and people destroyed her records and wanted to wipe out that period of evil empire that it was.
Lots of dead Raiden.
Lots of dead Raiden. And you know, so there's a lot of intentional wiping out of records, and there's a lot of unintentional wiping out of records, because this is also a period of time that is 800 years, or excuse me, 500 years, no, I was right the first time, 800 years before the founding of Aldis as a new kingdom. So there's Time who's given up a lot of information, who's destroyed a lot of information, and it's a lot of information has been destroyed just because of who she was.
Yeah. Okay.
But the name seems familiar, particularly because you did live in Aldis, in the city, and you spend a lot of time in a library. There's a song almost that's sung by the Knights of the Rose, the Knights of the Order of the Blue Rose, and Engelmar's name is mentioned in a verse in that.
He got name drop, y'all.
But it's like a folk song that's talking about, those knights that you want to aspire to be like, and it's a single verse in this song.
Okay.
That's
Well, Delme will share all this with the class.
Meanwhile, out verbally, not keep having weird long pauses. Rick could be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, good name, strong name. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Ritka."
pleasure, madam. Are you sure you should be bringing such a creature towards her? She might appropriate such.
It is for study, and it is completely under control. Like
Does he
like in
work-
like that nice spot that Carnage loves, so he can't be too mad.
Yeah.
does he work for the Empress or against her?
He did warn us about the Empress's armies coming.
Yeah, he said the Empress's army is coming, which makes me think that he's not a part of.
And
that
he also,
group.
just so you remember, he did say he worked to hide those so that she wouldn't, who would draw her attention.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, if
But perhaps we will take a more succinct route to avoid attention.
Well, I wish you luck. And, wish you luck. And he will turn on his horse at that point and start to ride by you. And as he does so, you know, it's like, because he had been perpendicular to the trail and was just kind of like right off the trail watching. He'll kind of turn and go east a bit. And maybe when he's 10 yards behind Carnage, between one step and the next, he and his horse dissipate and disappear.
That was kind of freaky.
As they were going, Russ would say, "You should ask him figure out what's keeping him here, so we can put." And then of course he disappears.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about if there was.
Well, he wanted to warn people away from taking this route, so perhaps we should take this as a sign and take a slightly different route to your parents' place. Just call me superstitious, but...
Vashard will agree with Ritka.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Simon's Vashard is superstitious as fuck.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A non-evil ghost tells us, don't go this way. We maybe should not go this way. Just throwing that out there.
What? Do we want to just go out like a mile that way and go parallel?
Yeah, swing around. Yeah, fine.
Okay.
Just not to this route, apparently.
Russ will sort of mark where we're at, because if there's a spirit of a
But
great
Carnage
knight,
can keep his bows, and I'll just give him a description.
He will lean into the scritches.
and Russ will remember where we're at, so he can come back here, because if there is a ghost that has not gone back to the wheel of rebirth, we'll have to see if we can find the ghost again, and see if we can do something.
And
also to make sure we're not on that same path because you've marked it.
And I think we can probably help this ghosty out when we're not we don't look like people the ghost wants to avoid.
Well, perhaps because we are time travelers. We have encountered him in the past and he was waiting to warn us to not go this way.
It's possible.
And we still, I guess, need to figure out what year we're in.
Didn't you already do that?
I mean, the ghost also seems to have been a time traveler.
He was a ghost, so I think perhaps he was in a different year than us. Maybe the next people
we could be where we started off, or we could be in the past, having met a ghost from the even more past.
I thought we were.
If you don't want to call your mom to verify the year, I could call my dad.
I feel like you should limit the number of people who are calling from the past.
You know,
which we called my dad and your mom. So
if we call my mom and she's still expecting us, I could just be calling to tell her that we're veering off path a little bit, and if she's heard of any trouble on the road. You know, that's a perfectly normal thing to call about.
Yes, we are changing routes to keep things safe and fresh.
Spicy, whatever.
Less predictable.
Yeah. Okay.
I will get up a bit higher and see if I can find an alternate route that does not take us this way that we were going. But let's remember this place, because we'll have to come back here to help Engelmar get back onto the wheel.
Okay. Dalme will, it's like mid-morning, right? She'll call everyone's favorite mom.
Ma'am, what year is it, by the way?
Hi, Mama.
Well, let's see if she's like, who the fuck are you? Or she's like, hey, what time are you getting here? All right.
Yeah, you're fine.
Focus bonus never added anyway. Anyway, all right. So, dring.
You know
question.
that
I think
feeling
that
when you
was
have to
Delmay.
sneeze?
I think it was Delmay who was holding up the psychic call, which means I think
No.
it drops.
It wasn't me. It was Ritka, I think.
Excellent.
Yep.
Sorry,
it's
what were you
me.
saying, Prax?
Gesundheit.
Bless you.
That's what I was waiting for. Sorry.
You good?
All right, Delmay. I'm glad you're checking in. You're being responsible. Are you okay?
Yeah, we're okay. We're still headed to the villa. Saw a random ghost on the road, and decided we should maybe take a detour on the way in. Just because some of the folks here are superstitious.
There's that long pause. Longer pause.
Yeah.
Mom.
It's I can't believe it, but I think it was that Engelmar guy from the song. He name dropped the Empress. The Empress, I should say.
Okay.
I mean, he said we should be careful because the Empress's army is heading out, and then he kind of walked away and disappeared, and so the superstitious folks are like, let's be careful, can't hurt to be safe. Figured you'd agree, but I thought I'd tell you that it may take us like a little bit longer.
I'm glad you're keeping me in the loop. I appreciate this. I'm glad you're okay.
And you haven't heard anything about the roads, have you? Or we're just being too cautious, probably.
I mean, the only thing I've heard lately about the roads is that there's somebody who's reporting sightings of wyverns in the area, and aside from the one you have, there aren't any that you've seen, right?
No, none at all. And the one we have, Mom, he's so cute. Which I told him today that in order to not freak people out, he should help us play a joke that he's like sad and captured, and he's so totally for it, and he's so sweet.
Delmay, is he sweet like, Whisper, or is he sweet like, that Puma that you decided would be appropriate to bring to dinner when you were 12?
I mean, some people would be scared of Whisper too. She's a big wolf. Carnage is a big wyvern. But Mom, he's shed his corruption with his free will. And if that's not impressive, I don't know what is.
I am very impressed. I am very impressed. I'm just, trying to evaluate based for alternative outsiders' perspective, not your perspective of every animal is your friend ever.
Well, you know what? They need to examine their biases. Because judging a book by the cover, Mom? Really? Although, you can judge Carnage by his cover because his cover is quite beautiful. Once, since it's shed its corruption. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, we're heading back, and I guess I'm gonna have to read more about Engelmar, because can't believe I just ran into that dude on the road. Engelmar. Like, what are the chances? This is
You might want to look up some poetry, or perhaps music. I don't know anything further about the gentleman beyond that one line in that one poem.
I'm sure there's like an opera about it, right? I feel like this is something that somebody somewhere made an opera about. Tragic.
Well, it's not any opera that I've ever been. I mean, but I don't. You know me in opera. I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
Prefer the ballet for a reason.
Fair. But
it doesn't hurt as much.
It is interesting. We've definitely seen way more fascinating things on this journey than my entire time in the Sovereign's Finest. So I don't know what's happening, but I guess we're doing something right.
Well, as long as things are okay. I unfortunately do have to go, dear.
Okay. Yeah, no, there
are a couple cases that are going to trial, and there's this one individual who really he's managed to conflict out every one of his possible advocates and all of the people who were going to advocate for him pro bono, and He keeps claiming that, no one is doing their job or advocating for him, and
Oh yeah. He sounds really fun. I think I'll take Ghosty over him. But Ghosty
Yes.
left us. I'm sad. I wanted to talk to him.
all right, well, I'll see you in a couple days then, dear. Have a good day.
Okay.
Bye. Click.
Bye. Delby's like, okay, good news. We're in the present.
Ah, good. See, it was just the ghost was in the past because he is a ghost and they're stuck in the
Yeah.
past.
And it's totally fine. And apparently there's tons of reports of wyvern sightings, but I told Mom that like Carnage is the best, and people need
Carnage
to
is
examine their
good.
biases.
Those other two that briefly flew over us, maybe not as good, but Carnage is great.
I know. I mean, you can't just assume just because it's a big creature that flies that it's evil.
I mean, generally you can, but the Carnage except.
I don't know. I feel like rules are made for like exceptions. I feel like you look hard enough, you're gonna find them. And Carnage is our very own exception. I don't think she was as thrilled by Carnage's joke as we are, but whatever.
Ritka.
Russ.
Yeah, Delmy had to
you're-
say all that out loud because she's not in your call anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what year are we in?
The current year.
Hmm. So what else did Delmay say?
She briefly spoke with her mom.
Mhm.
Said that people, aside from the only rumors of things happening on the road were wyvern sightings.
Mhm. What you assume is Carnage.
Well, Carnage, but there was also those other two we saw briefly,
Mhm.
when we were almost attacked by them.
Right.
Mhm.
Small
So
question.
there could be more than just Carnage, because Carnage has only been in the air a couple of times since being with us. So he's been I don't think he's ever walked this much. I'm a little
So-
concerned.
I totally forgot that there were wyverns at the present because I do remember them when we walked through the forest in the past.
Yep.
Okay.
When we found
Uh,
Fedora and Dimitri, remember those two wyverns? Yes.
Yeah.
Were those wyverns
Yep. We killed their Knights of the Skull, so they do not have a pairing anymore.
Ritka,
Yes.
you know how Carnage found you?
Yes. Because we are bonded.
Yeah, I presume that Dimitri and Fodor also have wyverns.
I think they're in the psychic hall, so
I do not think they were in, were they?
I had
Ritka
enough to get everybody. Yeah.
Rika rolled high enough to have everyone. It was the question of did you connect?
Did she?
Yeah, I think she did. I think she
If she
disconnected
did,
everyone.
He does not have this conversation with you because they're listening.
Okay.
He does not want to have that
Well,
conversation.
she
with,
could
with them.
she would have want to get Delmy back in the call, so if Russ wanted to connect to Rika privately
Yeah.
before she resets up the group call, he could
Yeah.
do that and have that conversation with her.
Yeah, so he would ping into you because that is not a conversation he wants to have.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
them
He'd be
listening.
like, it's like, how are their weapons? And Kernish, what are your wyverns? She just turns around and asks them. Fedor and Dimitri. Are they alright? Did you leave them in Kern? Are they still in touch?
Fedor and Dimitri both get this look of, for a moment, you don't even have to roll for it, that look of true heartache and break.
And she just was like, how many wyverns? She's like, I'm sorry. The rest, unfortunately, their wyverns are no longer amongst the living. That's the look you only have if your wyverns died. You don't have that look. Yeah,
Are they part of the unliving, these wyverns now? Does that happen?
I don't think that really happens, does it? Unliving Mars? No. That just generally does not happen with wyverns. Never seen one.
All right.
Kind of need the skin of the wings to flip. The bone's not very conducive to that.
There were some early experimentations to see if the Lich King could animate a dead wyvern.
Yeah, and they never turned out well.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Because partly it also was the arcana that would attempt to animate the dead creature was in conflict with the mutation
the mutations. Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll just explain that to us. It's and then they're not really undead wyverns. Not the thing. Conflicts of magic.
All right. I've got one question before this whole call goes back up again.
Right?
We're 4 days out from Aldis City. Well, from the villa.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 5 days from Aldis City.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly happened to your sister? My friend Revka.
Revka. I don't know what happened at the end. She was being interrogated by an underling, someone I was training to be a Knight of the Skull and training, and then it was this strange connection between her and I'm assuming because we were twins. And then I attacked my colleague, and then everything just kind of goes red. I just kind of snapped. I do not know what happened to her. I wish I did. I've just assumed she is dead because pretty much everyone in that town was when I left. But
That's just an assumption.
it is an assumption. I did not see a corpse. I did not want to. I did not look for it. I just, once I was slightly more coherent, I just left. Even before then, really.
Russ is quiet for some time. Longer than, is comfortable.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Britka's really comfortable with long silences, so I don't...
But he hasn't dropped the call. The
Yeah.
call's still on. Have you been trying to contact her?
Never tried.
You should.
You think so?
Yep.
Alright, for you, I'll give it a go.
You should be doing it for you.
I'll give it a go. She doesn't comment on the reason why she should be doing it, but she just says, I'll give it a go, and then drops the call. I'll give it a go.
Uh-huh.
So you drop the call. What do you do?
And I guess I'll try to... I'll tell Delma, I'll put up a good call, or you can put up another one in a minute. I gotta try to. Just give me a moment.
Okay.
Just has a look of I really don't want to do this. I really, really, really don't want to do this. But then takes a deep breath and then tries to call Revka, who she's seen since, the age of 2 or whatever, exactly once.
But you're twins. You have a special
But
connection.
we are
maybe?
twins, and
Yeah.
she didn't have that really intense, physical, painful connection that one time. Mental connection, it's just connection. It's just a connection. Just gonna try to just be like, Revka, ring, ring, ring. Let me roll that.
Mm-hmm.
Psychic. 15.
You cast your mind out across the psychic, looking for that connection that you had momentarily that fractured you and fractured your connection to everything you knew.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel something connect. And almost forcefully, almost like a magnet being pulled into each other and locked on, you feel it connect. And your mind is tied and you're not... It's strong. This is a psychic connection, the strength of which you haven't ever felt. Hello, little sister.
I think she just stops walking. She's just like, hello. How are you?
Fine. How
Oh.
are you doing?
Been better. You are not dead? Because
No.
people getting calls from dead people, so she just wants to make sure. I'm with someone here named Russ, and he says hi, I guess, and is concerned about you, I think.
I'm sorry that he is concerned.
He seems to be concerned about a lot of things. A lot.
Yes, Russ has always been a little high-strung. There was a time, so I've heard, that he was better. See if you can get him to tell those dad jokes again.
I
Or
do
at
not think
least-
he's particularly fond of me, but I will see what I can do.
Why does he not like you, little sister?
Well, I may have impersonated you for about 5 years here in Aldis. Where are you? She's like, I don't know how to approach this conversation. This is so awkward and weird. She's just like, oh, I'm in Aldis. Where are you at?
I'm a little busy at the moment. The exact location is difficult. But, so you were pretending to be me. Did you have fun?
I discovered the joy of gardening, but it was very stressful. I did not, seeing as how I didn't really know anything about you, other than your haircut. I'm shocked so many people believed it for so long, honestly.
Well, gardening isn't so bad, I guess. I mean, I've been learning a lot of new things as well.
I think she just, she stopped in the meat space, not in the brain space. She stopped and has just let go of the rope and is just just making this face.
So, pause for a moment. Delmay, Russ, what do either of you do when Ritka comes to a dead stop and looks kind of panicked?
Delmay stares at Ritka and then puts up a very quick psychic call to just Russ.
And Russ is
Richard and Cecilia.
in the he's forward doing point.
Yes, but she's going to
Yeah.
call them
Thank you.
because
Russ.
Russ needs to know that we've
Yeah.
stopped moving.
Yeah.
At the very least. So I get contact.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh yeah.
That's a billion. Hey, Russ, we've come to a complete and abrupt stop because Ritka has stopped moving. And
Why?
she looks really panicked. What did
Okay.
you do?
I didn't do
What
anything.
did you do?
Delmay is turning into her mother. Things are on the right path.
I love it.
Sorry, I just spoke to my mom and I just gotta shake her off. Do you know what she's doing?
Well, I told her that she should try to contact her sister Revka.
Well, shit. Okay, so
Wait, do you think that she's made contact?
well, yeah, and I don't think she expected to, and I think that's why she might have come to an abrupt halt
Okay,
at hearing her dead sister's voice.
okay, that's good. That means her sister is not dead.
Yes.
That's good.
Hopefully.
Ask her where Revka is and why she hasn't been answering my calls.
Where Russ wants to know where Refka is
Uh-huh.
and why she's not answering his calls.
Kind of half hears it. She's like, Russ wants to. She's like, uh-huh. And just half listening. Just focused on the what's going on in
Russ,
her head.
I think we might have to wait until after the reunion for your questions. I think Ritka needs a moment. She's having a moment. I don't know. There's a moment. Something's happening.
This is good. This is good. Okay.
Delmay that will, as Delmay always does in times like this, when it's with Ritka, is she will hand over her flask. that's emotional support between these friends.
Just holds up the commute, just the one moment. Like, I gotta get off this call first.
And that's why she'll shake the thing so
Oh,
Ritka
no.
knows what she's handing her.
Uh-huh.
It isn't like a thing.
It takes it, but there's like the one moment. So, what have you been up to? I've been gardening and poorly impersonating you until the past few weeks, which I came clean. Both corruption and honesty. What have you been up to these past 5 years?
Learning some new skills, practicing some new weapons. I mean, you should keep fresh, right?
Yes, I'm a firm believer you should stay well trained in your weapons of choice.
I mean, I've also been learning some other new skills, little sister. It's...
You're not a vampire, are you? Undead?
Russ, what's your defense? And does a 17 beat it?
Like physical defense?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm certain because I'm a bird. I do not have a armor on. I believe I'm a.
Your dex?
Well, it depends.
It says what is your AC?
Yeah.
14, but I also get a +2 for hero's armor, which brings me to 16, and I have
no, hero's armor. That's not your. What is your defense? Not your
14.
armor.
16 or 17. 17 certainly beats it.
Okay, because hero's armor is what your armor is. Remember, armor gets subtracted from
yeah.
damage.
Armor's different than defense.
Versus defense. Defense is, do I hit you? Armor is, how much damage do you end up taking?
Yeah.
So 17 will hit you. Cool.
Rude.
Well, you're not a vampire, are you? You're like undead. Are you okay?
Russ, you're going to take... we'll keep it, because I've just rolled that off. Russ, you're going to take 6 damage as a crossbow bolt will shoot you.
All right.
Which then your armor will subtract from that. Whatever your armor is reduces the damage. Why would you ask such a question?
Well, there might be some people who have fang sickness around these parts. Lady Talus might be on a rampage of sorts. Just call it Kernish paranoia.
Rampage and Lady Talus. Now that's a phrase I've never heard. I can't really picture her as going on the rampage. She seems much too controlled for that.
Well, her rampages might look different than other people's, but that is her acting out. And she's like, she's thinking to herself, how does she know a Lady Talus is?
Little sister, you should be coming home soon.
Well, we will have to see.
And I can't wait for you to bring that new brother.
Well,
and that's when the connection
exactly
breaks.
Call him a brother. She's like, oh no. I think she just says, oh no, and then takes the flask. Like, that she was holding it, just, oh no.
And that's about
just,
the point
swears
when
in Kernish.
Russ, you will feel this crossbow bolt hit you.
We're under attack.
Hands the flask back, looks at Delmy. I think my sister is evil. Maybe a vampire.
That would track, but also we're under attack.
All right, she takes out I
think as they're preparing, Delmy's like, oh wait, I have a flask in my hand.
And that's where we're gonna end for tonight.
Oof. She's like, Russ is not gonna be happy to hear about this. Oh, she said come home, but her father hasn't seen her. I need to call my father, I think. Oh no.
How we all doing?
calls to our parents. Family calls.
Why is this called Romance of the Blue Rose? This should be Blue Rose Family Calls Home. Like
No. This is Blue Rose All My Children edition.
Mm,
oh
Yeah.
yeah, there we go. Yeah.
nice.
That is a good question. Do unused blessings roll over?
Usually not, but in this case, I will actually roll them over till next week
Thank you.
Yee.
because
this
you're
is a
down.
highlight.
You're down a few people, and
Yeah.
you are about to go into combat, quite literally. So I will
Yeah.
leave them for next week.
So weird. Wow.
Someone rudely shot a
Yeah,
beautiful
it may have been my
rhyme.
sister. I don't know. She was just like, I've got some new skills. Crank and crossbow. It's just what I visualize. I don't know for sure. She's just,
How
yeah.
does she know where we are?
I don't know. Maybe it's a weird twin thing that Ritka hasn't looked into because she's not wanted to. Or Lady
She
Talus.
follows
Probably
you
Lady Talus.
around
You
and
know
no
what?
one knows.
It's Lady Talus because Lady Talus knows where we are.
It's entirely possible it's somebody else entirely, but since Russ is up forward and you guys have stopped moving, you probably are safe for a while, you know, from the murderers.
Not if I get on carnage.
I was gonna say we are all already holding on to a wyvern. Some of
Wyverns
us
move
are.
real fast. That's all I'm
Let's
gonna say.
go.
No, I just meant that like they're not gonna be able to get you immediately because like they're not where you are, hopefully.
We'll see. Either way, we're gonna get to them real fast, hopefully.
By the way, Tripper, just so you know, I did roll stealth for all of these people.
Oh yeah, no, I assume that I will not see people coming in at us because because you got good people, good bad guys.
Well, no, I've been rolling it. Look, as
No,
Simon will know, you don't want me to roll in the age
No,
system.
Age system. Not my other GM in the age system that I play with rolls the exact opposite of you, and
Oh,
so
no.
we just breeze through bandits like
So,
through cotton candy.
well, that was tonight. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I was almost prepared for things that were going to happen, and then Russ decided to switch things up, which meant that things happened. So, hey,
I told you this is all your fault.
Look, he's been trying to get a hold of Revka since he found out that Ritka was not Revka. He just has never been successful in getting through. And he's like, we have only a couple days left before we get to this administrative hearing. And it would be really good to know whether or not
Oh man, like can't
Actual
wait for
Revka's
Russ to
alive or not?
hear Ritka be like, so she's definitely not just dead. She is either alive or undead. And
Which
she's
one's worse?
probably
I don't know.
evil.
oh that yeah, Russ won't like any of
She's
that.
probably corrupted. I guess when we traded places, we really traded places.
I was
huh?
gonna say, tell me, gonna give her a drink and be like, "Never thought you'd be the good twin, did ya?"
No.
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh no, your
My whole shtick was
reputation.
I was the evil
Rita.
twin.
Yeah.
You're the goody two shoes now.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really low standards. That's
Yeah, he won't like that. He'll be sad.
hey, Pooja, how we doing? How we feeling?
Hey.
Share some love.
I am
Just
good.
chill.
Hello, everybody. I'm Pooja. You can find me on Twitter at Pooja and at Poojabaraki in the Twitch chat and on Instagram. And for my love this week, I have to give love to everybody in this lovely cast and our lovely GM. We had a lot of follow NPCs this week, and we kept the drama rolling, and I am proud of us. There were some I think there were some lovely moments between
Yeah.
everybody, and of course, special shout out for the orgy conversation. Yeah, that happened. Never thought it would, but
It's inevitable.
you know,
Inevitable.
yeah.
I'm just waiting for
Look.
Dimitri to have that conversation with each other person as
Yes.
well. Just
Look,
I mean, okay.
you should always discuss your orgy, full dialogue consent before you have the orgy.
yeah.
how are you gonna plan it
also-
if you know, talk about it?
There you go. Well, now you have all this other stuff. You can be like, look at all this pain I'm going through. organize an orgy for me. But yes, so that was I had a blast, and I am excited for next week to see where the drama takes us. And in the meantime, you can find me on Tuesdays over at the Manapot Studios channel playing Flights of Fandom. We are wrapping up our Gotham flight this Tuesday, and we'll be announcing we're doing two-week flights for in September, but we'll be announcing what fandoms they are. So come join us and find out what we'll be doing in September. And on Thursdays, you can find me on Wandering DM's channel playing Sentinels of the Multiverse with our very own Simon as the DM, and with lots of fun opportunities for audience participation and game-changing interactions. It's a lot of fun.
And who are you playing?
In that game, I play what is her name? Wow, my brain.
Anya and
Anaya. I play Anaya
go.
Desai. She's a doctor who has Earth manipulation powers that she is very afraid of, because she's a doctor and has taken an oath to do no harm, and yet has a power that allows her to do massive amounts of harm and is scared of it.
Oh,
It's fun. It's a good time.
oh.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right. But
Speaking,
yes, so that's me.
always check out Pooja, check out the Flights of Fandom stuff. Also check out Sentinels of the Multiverse because it's freaking hilarious, and place bets on how much danger Godless Lawyer will be in each week. And then speaking of love, hey Trooper, how are you?
I am good. Also not muted. Woohoo! I am good. And I am going to give some love. Oh gosh, everybody was so lovely today. But I think I want to go and give some love to Lindy for Revka and Ritka having a lovely, pleasant conversation, specifically this part. So, I'm at Aldis. Where are you? How have you been? Well, I've just been hanging out gardening. What have you been doing? My sister's totally evil. So that whole thing, I'm going to give some love right there for. And I'm Trooper SJP, and you can find me, what day is it? Today's Sunday. You can find me, Wednesday for Witcher on whose channel? This one.
No, you won't see us Wednesday.
Not
Oh, no,
this
you won't.
Wednesday, but
No.
most Wednesdays.
But
But
Most
most
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays. But
Most
most
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays. But not this Wednesday.
That's true, because we're doing a blackout because some creepy people keep following folks.
Yeah.
Watch out for it. And but you can find me on Friday for City of Light and Shadow on my channel at 7 p.m. Central. And yeah, and then we'll, find me there, and I'll tell you about more places you can find me. That's me. Eee.
All the fun places. All the fun places. And then last but never least, hey Lindy, how are you doing?
Oh, it's me. I'm doing fine. Rick is having just a little, oh shit, panic attack moment? Less panic attack, because she's more like, wow, we really did swap places. Moment. Just a moment of incredulity, a little bit. She's like, wow, that's not what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting to make contact at all, boy. It's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. Some love. I loved just Delme and Ritka. I want just a spin-off of them two coming up with solutions to problems, because they're
Yes.
like, what do? We'll put a bow on the wyvern. Well, they're leashes, but we'll say they're bows, and he'll feel just very pretty. And then when we pass by a weird sus dude, will just be like, hey, looks like rain, doesn't it? We're just the two most nonchalant yet somewhat awkward people, and I love it. I love them together.
I would
it's
watch
just
their-
the flask passing.
Yeah, I would watch
Yeah.
their buddy adventures.
Yeah, their buddy not cop spinoff.
Yeah.
And just
Their
just
buddy
the
envoys. Their buddy
Yes.
envoy adventure.
Yeah, it'd be pretty entertaining. And then just Russ's level of paranoia, just Russ. And I can't shake my head that much because I have characters who are exactly that paranoid, but in different games. Just it's fine. It's fine.
It's more like people are trying to kill them. They're on patrol. Like, he's like, for him, this is not like they're not like traveling for fun. They're on a mission.
No, I don't think anyone thinks we're traveling for fun. We're just making the best of it, and that's just I love the two contrasting viewpoints.
It's like there's a being that stopped him being mysterious, so we just have to check it out and like be careful.
Fine.
That's it.
Just can't wait to tell you about my sister. She's going, this is all your fault. We may contact her. It's fine, whatever. Anyways, you can find me online at Laugh Love Lady. Oh, and of course, Dimitri's orgy conversation with Delming.
Absolutely.
That was love to Dimitri. Just Dimitri gets all the love with Carnage too. You can find me online, Laugh Love Lindy, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I play and jam lots of tabletop RPGs. You can find me next. It would typically be on this channel on Wednesdays, but not this Wednesday, for Witcher, where I play Brenna. But you can find me. We should be back from our little weird impromptu summer break from Mondays in Exandria, because just people have not been feeling well. Or scheduling is the worst part of tabletop RPGs, and we will be back for sure for Ravenloft on Tuesday. And yeah, just lots of fun stuff. And of course, Friday for Trooper, you can watch his City of Light and Shadow, because I won't be there. But you should watch him and Greg's solo episode, because Greg is an amazing person, and I can't watch it, so you should watch it for me.
And Greg will probably cause trouble.
But you will be somewhere, Lindy, on Friday.
Oh, snap! But that's this Friday. That's right. Hell yeah! Thank you for reminding me. You will find me here on this channel though on Friday, where I will be playing Aurelia Ludus Sterling. She is movie star, nobility, spy, housewife. You know, all that good things in the wonderful world of Mekton, for her solo episode to see what happens in the 6 months between season 1 and season 2. Yeah.
Yep, indeed. We will be here at 3 p.m. Eastern on Friday for Mekton, for the solo episodes from the Starblade Battalion, starting with Aurelia Ludus Sterling. See what's going on there. I mean, there was some drama. Look, if you haven't seen the mini-series that we did of Starblade Battalion Memories, 6 episodes. I was given a challenge of how much drama I could throw into 6 episodes. I feel that I met that challenge.
Nice. Yes, exceeded even.
I felt that I could. Thank you. But hey, as for me, I'm at Deirdre Donlan on Twitter, or Praxagorth Esmia4 as you see me around here on Twitch. Hi, welcome to the channel. If you've missed out on any of those Mekton episodes and you want to catch up before Friday's solo episode, they're on YouTube. There's a playlist. I organize all of the VODs on the playlist, so they're easy to find. And then I double check them to make sure that they are actually in order. Because that's one of those.
Do that too. You're not alone. Yeah.
Yep. And then, but usually we would be here on Wednesday, but we are not going to be here September 1st because it is a day off Twitch to try and get some response about these hate raid bot things that are going on and all of this drama we don't need in our lives. Also, I'm gonna pull out like my teacher face card. Y'all little infantile children, and I don't care if you're at your actual age, you are infantile children in maturity. If you feel a need to create the code to bot people, to bot slam people, you could be doing much better things with your life. Go! Do more better things with your life. Otherwise your mama's gonna come out and, you know, glare at you. But yes, that's my mini rant about the whole thing. We will be here Friday for Mekton solo episode, and we'll be here Sunday again for some more Romance of the Blue Rose. Hopefully we will be back with Vishard and with Simon and Alyssa. And until next time, just check my Twitter, because I always post where I'm going to be, all the fun, wonderful things I get to do, all the fun, wonderful people like these fine folks, and many, many more that I get to hang out with and talk to and interact with. But I'm going to say that we should perhaps go and send some love to someone and send actual love instead of, like, hate bot love. Because I think that's a problem. I feel like Myth, because I know that Trooper saw Myth earlier today, but some of the rest of us didn't. So
you can't have too much Myth either.
No,
you just
you
can't.
You cannot. So we're gonna go raid
You're
Myth.
muted, Trooper.
I also just poked at his character a little bit earlier today, and so he might need some love. You know.
Oh no.
I mean, he's playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay, I
RP,
GM'd
so-
him once. He's still probably recovering from that that one time, like 3 years ago. It's fine.
Look, you don't recover from flagon, you just experience it. But until next week, everybody. Bye-bye.